The equation of truth. How one teen mathematician dismantled generations of bias. Part 1. The Quiet Prodigy. At just 15 years old, Isaiah Carter stood at the gates of Halcyon Preparatory Academy, clutching the straps of his weathered backpack. The letters etched in gold across the limestone arch shimmered under the morning sun. Scientia estate potentia, knowledge is power. This was a new world. Polished floors, echoing hallways, and students in tailored uniforms spoke volumes about the wealth and legacy embedded in this school's walls. Isaiah didn't belong to that world, not by their standards. But what he carried inside him couldn't be measured by uniforms or legacy admissions. He was the youngest student in Halcyon's elite AP Calculus cohort, and the first from his inner-city neighborhood to win the Fitzgerald Fellowship, a scholarship reserved for exceptionally gifted minds from underrepresented communities. Isaiah whispered to himself, "You got this," echoing the words his mother had spoken with a trembling smile that morning. She had worked 2 jobs for years to make sure her son had the tools to feed a mind she'd always known was extraordinary. The calculus classroom, with its arched windows and oak-paneled walls, was nearly empty when Isaiah arrived. He took a seat in the front row and carefully arranged his pencils and notebooks. Math was his refuge, a world where logic reigned and bias held no power. Until she walked in. Part 2, Dr. Evelyn Lancaster. At 44, Dr. Evelyn Lancaster was a legend at Halcyon. A former Princeton prodigy and published mathematician, she commanded respect and fear. Her icy gray eyes swept the room, settling on Isaiah with a flicker of discomfort. "Advanced calculus," she said briskly, "is not a course for the uncommitted. We demand excellence here, not excuses." The implication was clear. Her tone wasn't lost on Isaiah or the 20 other students whose heads turned in his direction. After taking attendance, she stopped at his name. "Isaiah Carter." "I hear you're promising," she said, lips tight. "We'll see." The weeks that followed were grueling. Dr. Lancaster made a point of directing the toughest questions Isaiah's way. When he answered correctly, always calmly, always precisely, her face remained unreadable. But her resentment grew sharper. She called his insights unconventional, his methods interesting but undisciplined. During one group project, she deliberately placed him with 3 of the highest-performing seniors, who scoffed when he suggested using the simplex method for an optimization problem, a graduate-level concept. "That's not in our curriculum," one of them sneered. "I read about it in the library," Isaiah replied simply. But even brilliance couldn't shield him from whispered doubts. "I heard he's a diversity admit. Probably got in because of optics. But he can't even handle a real competition." Part 3. The Quiz and the Challenge. Then came the quiz. While the rest of the class received standard problems on Taylor series, Isaiah's sheet contained complex derivations, convergence proofs, and applications beyond the syllabus. He didn't flinch. A week later, Dr. Lancaster handed back the quizzes. Isaiah's bore a red-inked message. "See me. Young Mathematicians Competition." Later, his friend Anika Desai, a chemistry student on scholarship, leaned over. "That's for college students. She's setting you up." Isaiah knew it too, but he accepted the challenge anyway. Part 4. The competition setup. The Young Mathematicians Competition, YMC, would be held on campus, in front of students, faculty, and visiting professors from top universities. Each contestant would be given a problem to solve on stage and defend their solution before a panel of judges. Isaiah wasn't just the youngest competitor. He was the only high schooler, the only black student. Dr. Lancaster handed him a reading list a week before the event. Focus on nonlinear systems and chaos theory. You'll need it. He didn't sleep much that week. He watched lectures from MIT, exchanged ideas in online forums under the pseudonym Math Voyager, and scoured old operations research textbooks at the library. At home, his mother Danielle Carter noticed the toll. "Baby," she said softly one night, "you don't have to prove anything to people who don't want to see you." "I'm not doing it for them," Isaiah replied. "I'm doing it for the next kid who looks like me and gets told they don't belong." Part 5. The Stage. The day of the competition, the Halcyon Auditorium buzzed like never before. The audience included Ivy League professors, local news reporters, and board members from the Fitzgerald Foundation. Isaiah took the stage. The screen behind him lit up with a monstrous partial differential equation involving chaotic systems and nonlinear dynamics. Gasps echoed through the auditorium. Even graduate students in the audience shifted uncomfortably. Dr. Lancaster didn't hide her satisfaction. She had given Isaiah an unsolvable problem, or so she thought. For minutes, Isaiah stood frozen. Then, like flipping a switch, he began working. Instead of attacking the problem head-on, he reframed it using advanced transformation techniques from perturbation theory. Within 20 minutes, he had constructed a partial solution framework that left even the judges speechless. A voice from the crowd interrupted. "I'd like to weigh in." It was Dr. Liang Zhou, a visiting professor from Princeton. "I've been corresponding with a brilliant thinker online, someone named Math Voyager," he said. "This solution is his. Or should I say yours?" Isaiah nodded. Dr. Zhou smiled. "You extended my theory, young man. I think the world ought to know your name." Part 6. The Aftermath. The auditorium exploded in applause. Dr. Lancaster paled. In the days that followed, the story spread far and wide. News outlets picked it up. Professors emailed Isaiah offers. The National Mathematics Research Institute awarded him a summer internship. And Dr. Lancaster? She was placed on administrative leave after other scholarship students came forward with stories of mistreatment. Isaiah, for his part, didn't gloat. When given the chance to speak at a school-wide assembly, he said, "Genius doesn't have a uniform. Talent doesn't come in one shade. And brilliance doesn't need permission to exist, only the opportunity to be seen." Part 7. 1 year later. A year after that day, Isaiah stood once more at Halcyon stage, this time as keynote speaker for the school's STEM symposium. In the crowd sat Anika, now leading Halcyon's peer mentorship program for underrepresented students. Dr. Lancaster was there too, not as the enemy, but as a changed educator. After months of reflection, training, and public apology, she had returned to teach a new seminar, Inclusive Models of Mathematical Education. During the reception, she approached Isaiah and his mother. "Thank you," she said, "not just for showing me what I missed, but for giving me the chance to change." Isaiah smiled. "Change is a system of equations, Dr. Lancaster. You just needed a new way to solve it." Closing note. Dear viewer, if Isaiah's story moved you, know this. While the names may be fictional, the barriers he faced are very real. Every day, gifted students are overlooked, underestimated, or shut out because of how they look or where they come from. By sharing stories like this, we shine a light on the brilliance that might otherwise stay hidden. Lightbulb, please like, subscribe, and share to support narratives that challenge bias and celebrate potential in all its powerful, unexpected forms.